This could be you, but it's not. Not yet, anyways. 57% of Gen Z wants to be YouTubers. And while ignorant old people who don't understand technology might view this as a joke and not a real job, I, as a millennial YouTuber, think this is a completely rational, based viewpoint of Gen Z. When I was growing up, we didn't have YouTube or social media yet. The unrealistic joke career equivalent of YouTube back then was being a famous athlete or actor. I was always pretty good at basketball, and I had dreams of making the NBA for most of my childhood. When I turned 18, like most young hoopers, I realized I wasn't quite good enough for the NBA. So I settled into reality and applied for a modest waiter job. This, however, was when the economy crashed in 2008, and when I got to the restaurant to do the interview, I realized there was an insane line of like 300 people, all waiting to apply for a damn minimum wage waiter job. It was at this point when I realized, screw this. I might as well try to make the NBA at this point. I was always discouraged from trying that because of the long odds of making it. But at this point, the economy is so screwed, the odds of getting a minimum wage waiter job aren't even much better. At least I'll make a good living doing what I enjoy if I make the NBA. This is pretty much exactly why most Gen Z want to be YouTubers. It's a complete rational calculation that with how bad the economy is, you might as well go for your dreams, no matter how unrealistic it seems. The reward will at least be worth it if you manage to achieve it. Here's the good news. Making a living off YouTube is a lot easier than making the NBA. It's a lot more achievable than you think in general. The reason you don't think it is because there's just so many misconceptions around it. It's all luck, it's too late to start, etc. These misconceptions cause a lot of mental blocks, and as a result, a lot of people never even start. But it's time to kill this noise once and for all. This is how you can make a living off of YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber because I want to make money doing what I enjoy. This mentality is the biggest reason most people fail on YouTube. It's a huge misconception that you can just randomly record whatever you enjoy doing, whether that's gaming, cooking, working out, or whatever, and just make it on YouTube. The reason it's a bad mindset to have is because it's a very selfish mindset when you think about it. I want to make money doing what I enjoy. You're only thinking about what you want, without thinking at all about what value you're bringing to other people, specifically your viewers. There's a Japanese concept called ikigai that I believe is a perfect recipe for YouTube success. It's a 4-circle Venn diagram of what you love, what the world needs, what you're good at, and what you can be paid for. Doing what you love is a great start, but what about the other 3 circles? People like to overcomplicate YouTube and make it all about the mystical algorithm, when in reality, the algorithm is just there to follow human emotion. And the way you invoke human emotion is literally as simple as fulfilling all 4 ikigai circles. In fact, you actually only need to fill 3, because the 4th circle, which is making money, naturally comes with the territory once you've fulfilled the other 3. Let me use my own channel as an example. As you guys can tell, I'm quite the avid gamer and I love playing games. If I just made another gaming channel where I uploaded random clips of me playing video games, chances are it would just get buried under the million other gameplay channels doing the same exact thing. So it can't just be about what I personally enjoy doing. As it turns out, I also really like complaining about and pointing out how stupid society is. This is why you guys enjoy watching my videos, because you also realize how stupid and BS modern society is. As sad as it is to say, pointing out how dumb the world has become is actually something the world needs, which fills in the 2nd ikigai circle. I'd like to think I'm quite good at what I do as well, though I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So now once we've filled in the top 3 circles, the final circle, which is getting paid for it, naturally comes with the territory when it comes to YouTube. The key here is understanding that all 3 circles are equally important. If you only think about what you enjoy, you're not bringing value to the people watching. But if you only focus on bringing value to others, when you don't enjoy what you're doing yourself, you might see some short-term success if you're lucky. But eventually people will see your lack of authentic energy and you yourself will burn out too. And of course, if you're not good at it, if you just don't know what you're talking about, that's obviously also going to be a recipe for disaster. So before you start your new YouTube channel, ask yourself those 3 questions. Am I good at it? Does it bring value to the viewers? And do I actually enjoy doing it? If you can answer yes to all three of those questions, then you already have the mentality you need to make it as a YouTuber, which is the dream job for a lot of Gen Z these days. Now, there's obviously a lot more to making it on YouTube than just having the right mindset. Titles and thumbnails, editing, script writing, video, and production quality. These things all matter, I'm not saying they don't. I more just wanted to focus on the mindset and mentality aspect because I think this is what's actually truly holding most people back. There are plenty of great guides on YouTube itself, teaching you the other more logistical aspects. You don't need my help when it comes to that. But despite all this great free information out there about how to edit, how to make a great title and thumbnail, etc., so many people still struggle on YouTube, and I believe the mentality is the main reason why. Now, as promised in the thumbnail, I'm going to be revealing to you how much money we've made in the roughly first 3 weeks we've been monetized. Making a living off YouTube is a lot more achievable than people make it out to be. But it's not for the reason you think. People think that you have to be a top 0.01% level creator with 1 million subscribers to make a decent living off it. This is actually true, but only in the confines of the US and the Western world. When you consider that America has gotten so expensive now that even people making $50,000 a year are struggling to get by, of course not that many YouTube channels, aside from the very top ones, are making that much. But this is the thing, this only applies if you're living in the confines of the Western world. But YouTube is intrinsically a location-independent job, and thus, it inherently gives you the option to move wherever you want. I recently made a video about why every young person should consider moving abroad, as life is just much cheaper overseas. The biggest question I got from this video was, but how do you make money and support yourself overseas? Well, YouTube is definitely one way you can do it. In the same video, I showed an example of a very decent apartment you can rent in a beautiful Albanian beach city for only $300 a month. This happens to be almost exactly how much we're on pace to make here on this channel, as we made 252 euros in our first little over 3 weeks here. Keep in mind, this is still a very small channel, relatively speaking, with less than 3,000 subscribers. We're nowhere near 1 million or even 10,000 subscribers. And yet, in our first month of being monetized, we made enough to pay our entire rent. The point here is that it's easier than you think to make a living off YouTube, because YouTube fundamentally changes the meaning of making a living itself. In the Western world, a living might be $50,000 or even $100,000. But YouTube gives you the option of moving abroad where you can live very comfortably off less than $1,000 a month. Make no mistake, it's not going to be easy getting to that point. It's not easy even getting monetized at all. But hopefully this inspires you that it's not as impossible as you used to believe either. Now, after watching this video, you might be more intrigued about the prospect of moving abroad in general, in which case, check out this video right here, in which I explain why every Zoomer should consider moving abroad.